The St. Francis Xavier Credit Union has entered a new chapter following months of anticipation and earlier postponement in June due to the lack of quorum. Members returned to cast their votes, successfully electing a new board of directors tasked with helping guide the institution towards recovery. While the elections marked an important milestone, the work for the newly elected board is only just beginning.
So what happens now is a period of 3-month transition whereby the administration, along with senior management, works with the board to have an orderly transition of the affairs of the credit union. And that obviously first starts with an orientation session, which starts today with the prospective board. And I say prospective because the final vetting the regulator needs to still do the final vetting to ensure that the board members are deemed fit and proper per the current legislation. There's a plan that we have for the 3 months, which involves creating some foundational documents for the committees, that is their charters, which lays out their roles and responsibilities and accountabilities so that the board understands their role as governance and oversight. Because oftentimes what we find in institutions is that, the board and the committee members tend to perhaps get involved in operational and people decisions, and that is really left to the management and staff that are trained in those various disciplines and domains. So in speaking with this board yesterday, they have a acute appreciation of their roles and responsibilities, and so it's just to reinforce that. And once those foundational documents are done, well, the training continues. The board has expressed an interest in getting training in governance in different aspects in oversight and running a financial institution. So I look forward to working with them on that.
The current administrator, Marlon Neal, was appointed by the Central Bank of Belize to oversee the credit union's operation, says the next 3 months will focus on preparing the new directors for their responsibilities. Beginning today, the board will undergo a comprehensive orientation alongside senior management and the administration team. The process is designed to familiarize directors with the credit union's operations, governance structure, financial position, and regulatory responsibilities before they formally assume full leadership. Neil says the administration will continue working closely with the board to ensure the transition is orderly, responsible, and in the best interest of its members.
First of all, we want to thank all the members that showed up yesterday and that participated in the voting process. We appreciate them taking time out to come and make their decision known. This independent group of candidates that had joined for the same purpose of bringing back good governance, transparency, and integrity to the St. Francis Xavier Credit Union, basically asked for a reset. We told the members we want to start from scratch. We want to be able to have a board that works under the regulation, that works along with the administrator, and make sure that we are complying with central bank. The elections yesterday was a fair elections. Every candidate, independent or in a group, were able to offer themselves up to service for the members. And so the elections was monitored and run by the Credit Union League. So it was a fair elections, and I believe that now the time is we have to work. There's a lot of building of member trust. One of the things that I can say from the outcome or attendance was that it was a very poor attendance, but they may have a lot of different variables to it. First of all, during the actual AGM, we couldn't hit quorum, which we were only at 850. I think you were out there reporting on that. But the bylaws asked for a special meeting, so the special meeting was enacted by the administrator. But yesterday we had maybe roughly about 300, 350. So we see that we had less than half of the numbers out there. So again, that's an indicator that we need to go back, create a strong outreach program that will reach village by village, town, and then also ensure that we are talking with members and bringing them back.
The St. Francis Xavier Credit Union has spent the past several years under regulatory administration following concerns over the financial mismanagement that led to intervention by the central bank. Since then, significant efforts have been made to stabilize the institution's finance, strengthen internal controls, and restore confidence among its thousands of members. With a board now elected, many members see Sunday's votes as more than just an election. It represents an opportunity for a fresh start. Although the road ahead will be requiring careful oversight, continued regulatory compliance, and cooperation between management and new directors, there is a cautious optimism that the credit union is moving closer to returning to full member-led governance. For many in Corozal, the hope is that this new leadership will not only safeguard the institution's financial future, but also restore the confidence and the trust that once made St. Francis Xavier Credit Union one of the district's strongest community institutions. Reporting for Love, this is Vince Martinez.